may all now be seated. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Liston Kidd, and today I've been given the honor and the opportunity to not only open our ceremony, but to also bless these wonderful friends of mine who I've come to know over these years at the NCLA. So if you would, please bow your heads with me as I lead us in this prayer. Dear Lord, it is with a humble heart that we come to thank you for this, our graduation ceremony, our open door to the next chapter of our lives. Thank you, Lord, for our teachers, for our families, and for our role models who have helped us up until this point. Lord, you've called each and every one of us to spread your light throughout this earth and have brought us all here to the NCLA so that we could be trained up to be leaders. And so, as we graduate on this day, I pray that you will help us to walk into that mantle of leadership. Please, Lord, give us the courage to go before the nations, the strength to overcome every obstacle, and the wisdom to discern what's ahead and what is right in every situation that we are faced with. Please, help us, Father, to stay on the path that you've chosen for us and lead us back when we make a wrong turn on the roads to our destiny. For we are nothing without you, Lord, your ever-present guidance. And so, as we take our first steps into our futures and all that's ahead, I pray that you'll be there to guide us, be there to strengthen us, and be there to comfort us along the way. We love you, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning. My name is Jim Davis. I'm chairman of the Board of Trustees for the North Carolina Leadership Academy. Seniors, parents, friends, and family, on behalf of the board, I would like to welcome you to the 2017, and I might add, inaugural commencement ceremonies of the North Carolina Leadership Academy. I'd like to introduce at this time Joe Ornstein, who's also on the board, and Daryl Davis, who's also on the board. Seniors, I would like to be the first to congratulate you on completing 13 years of education that will conclude later today with a diploma. It has been our board's honor and pleasure to watch your growth and accomplishments over the past 4 years. Many of you began with us as incoming freshmen, as the incoming freshman class 4 years ago. You endured a temporary facility, transitioning to a new campus, saw the growth of academics, extracurricular activities, and sports teams over the period of a short time, and you were responsible for much of this growth. We even have a senior rock now. So you have a lot to be proud of and have worked very hard. I'm also very proud to announce that this year's graduating class will be attending a variety of collegiate institutions across the United States and has been awarded over $1.1 million in scholarships. Seniors, as the first graduating class, I also want you to know that it is our intention to have an open door policy at the NCLA. One, we want you to come back and visit and see your faces again. As a K-12 school, we have a culture that is very inclusive amongst the age levels, and we've developed into a very close-knit community. As leaders in the school, please come back and share your experiences and accomplishments as you move forward in life. Those younger than you notice this, and for many, it'll provide something for them to strive for and a framework for their goal setting. We also want to be there as a support mechanism if you ever need anything going forward. There is a vast amount of experience within our administration, teachers, and board, and it would be our pleasure to provide you any assistance you need in the future. Parents, I want to take a moment to thank you for putting your trust in us to educate your child, and for many of you, your children. We are keenly aware that you have the choice to attend or not attend our academy. For those of you that have been with us since the beginning, I thank you for taking the chance on attending a new school and enduring the growing pains that come with that. We continue to strive every day to make this one of the best educational institutions, not only in our area, but also the state. I also want to thank you for your involvement on a daily basis at the school. Without your support, we would never have been able to accomplish half of what we've been able to do thus far. Your active involvement in your children's educational experience, especially in today's environment, has provided us with a great group of graduates. Sitting before you are young men and women that are committed, respectful, coachable, and eager to learn. I would also like to thank our teachers, many of whom are here today. Without them, we couldn't do what we do on a daily basis. They are on the front lines, our boots on the ground, and they do an exceptional job. Just as we challenge our students to be leaders, we challenge our teachers to do the same. We set the bar high, and our teachers continuously meet or exceed the goals that we set before them. Finally, I've been asked to present a message from Lieutenant Colonel Frederick J. Kennedy, Chairman Emeritus and founding chairman of the NCLA, many of whom you know. His message is as follows. Distinguished guests, staff, and faculty, families, and class of 2017, while I am not able to be with you today, my thoughts and best wishes are with you always. As the first graduating class of the North Carolina Leadership Academy, you hold a special place in the short history of this noble institution. Go forth to make the world a better place by living out those three hallowed words that distinguish the NCLA from any other school: scholarship, leadership, citizenship. And as Fred always says, onward and upward. Frederick J. Kennedy, Chairman Emeritus, the North Carolina Leadership Academy. Again, welcome to the commencement ceremonies, and I hope you enjoy your morning celebrating the NCLA graduating class of 2017. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Abby Warren, and I wanted to talk to you all today about our past few years of high school. Throughout our 4 years of being together, we have gained lifelong friendships and have shared many laughter-filled and even tear-filled memories. I know I speak for everyone when I say that I would not trade this experience for anything. Now, before I get too sappy, let's start at the bridge. The majority of this graduating class started at the school from day one at that church. Walking in that first day was an unforgettable moment. Seeing all these unique people doing the same thing that I was, trying something new and reinventing themselves. I walked in that first day knowing close to 0 people. I'm flabbergasted at myself for making friends as quickly as I did that first week. Now, I know students who went to the bridge like to say how fun it was, but it was anything but glamorous. We had little nooks for classrooms, milk crates and hooks for lockers, and gym class in the lunchroom. We used every bit of that building that was available to us, and that created the foundation of the wonderful friendships we have all made together as a school. Fast forward to sophomore year, where we finally get Miss Heath's dream, a permanent location for the North Carolina Leadership Academy. It was a blank canvas for us to put posters on the wall and gum on the sidewalk. For me, this was the year of acne and horrid side bangs. You live and you learn. It was also the first year for sports, and we started off with a bang. It definitely beats the ultimate football tournament we had at the bridge. This was also the year where Civil Air Patrol became a lot more serious. Our peers were taking leadership positions, and this was some people's first exposure to military-style discipline. Those cringy times in freshman and sophomore year are looked at with fondness now. From the crazy noises and faces that I used to make, and the jokes that always seemed to fall flat, and Mr. Lake hardcore judging me when I would dance an extended day to One Direction. But now we've made it to our junior year, aka the most important year for college. This is the year to really push yourself to be competitive for colleges. And so the lesser known but still awful brother of senioritis, junioritis, ensued. Junior year consisted of better sports teams, terrible student drivers, cough cough Lydia Stoops, and new administration. Bottom line, it was a crazy year. If I have made it this far in my speech and I haven't choked up or cried at all, I will be very surprised. But the wise Dr. Seuss once said, I always knew looking back on the tears would make me laugh, but I never knew looking back on the laughs would make me cry. So many happy memories have been shared between the 35 of us, and we have grown together. Not seeing everyone's frowning faces every day will definitely be a transition for me. It has definitely been a wild ride at the NCLA, and I don't know what the future holds because that's up to Zach Ellis to decide in a few minutes. But I know each and every one of us will be very successful. No matter what NCLA graduating class of 2017, we get to say that we did it. We made it through the senior project, Mr. Lake's workouts, and tiny hallways. Good luck and thank you for everything. May everyone's future be bright.
The clock is running. Make the most of today. Time waits for no man. Yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery. Today's a gift, that's why they call it the present. Good morning. My name is Esther Lee, and on behalf of the class of 2017, I'd like to welcome once again all faculty, friends, family, and all of their guests to the first ever commencement ceremony of the North Carolina Leadership Academy. So here we are. We did it. We started from the bottom, and now our whole team's here. Now, I'm sure you're expecting an emotional, sappy, heart-rending speech reminiscing about the last 4 years of our lives. But unfortunately, Abby Warren has already beaten me to it. And if you're looking for an inspirational, sentimental, moving speech about what we should expect for our next few years, well, I'm sorry again, but you're gonna have to wait until Zach Ellis' speech, who, did you know, is going to West Point? I'm not here to talk about the past or the future, but rather the now. During my time here at the NCLA, I've learned many aspects about the importance of the present. As you may know, I came to the school as an outsider, a stranger. I thought I had the world in my hands, under control. My plans for college and beyond were already set forth. I never expected the curveball that was about to be thrown to me, moving. Everything that I've worked for, all the time and effort I put into my future, crumbled at one instant. I was moving my senior year of high school to a place very foreign to me. Never had I thought in my life that I would move to such a place as North Carolina. And although it came as a shock, I knew there was nothing in my control that I could do about it. That's when I learned about the unpredictability of life. Life does not take into consideration your past, nor does it regard your plans for the future. Life is life. It does not have the capacity or the ability to understand all your situations and concerns. Some may ask how this applies to you. Well, graduates, no matter how much you say and you think you prepare for the future, you will never fully be prepared for the curveball life may throw at you. This is why the present is so important. The past and the future are only relative. They can only be described in reference to their relation to the present. I believe that everything happens for a reason. If it wasn't for this move, I wouldn't have the opportunity to speak at my graduation or meet such great people as you all. Never be afraid or hesitant about the path you're taking. You're placed there with a purpose. So I say to you, class of 2017, live life to the fullest, for you never know what the future may hold. The past is behind, learn from it. The future is ahead, prepare for it. The present is here, live for it. Thank you.
I'm going to try not to cry as well. Hi, my name is Zachary Ellis, and it is a pleasure to welcome you all to this graduation ceremony yet again. 4 years ago, I had a dilemma to choose between a well-known school with established athletics, an IB League curriculum, and lots of friends, or a brand new school with no reputation, no athletic department, no facilities, and no friends. The only thing this new school could promise me was that it would do everything in its power to give me the opportunity to succeed and to become a leader of tomorrow. 4 years later, the NCLA has accomplished its primary goal, and for that, I'm ever thankful. To develop leaders of character, the NCLA has chosen to instill within each of its students volunteer service, integrity, respect, and excellence. These traits have been highly valued by the United States Air Force and the Civil Air Patrol because they inspire each of us to be the best we can possibly be at all times. Volunteer service teaches us that the needs of the team and of the people around us take priority over our own individual desires. Volunteer service teaches us to be selfless and to take a minute to think of a way we can help someone else rather than ourselves. Sometimes service takes something from us that is dear. It can be our time, our energy, our money, or other resources that we treasure and typically don't want to give up. In the future, I would encourage you to continue in your service to others. Younger generations will always need another small group leader, another scout leader, another little league coach. So I hope that one day, each of you will answer the call to serve in your own communities. By taking the time to bless someone's day, you will find a joy that is unlike any other, and you will not regret it. Integrity is the willingness to do what's right, even when no one is looking. It is the moral uprightness that guides our decisions and our actions. People with integrity are honest and morally courageous. Yes, courageous. It's hard these days. If I can find my place. Sometimes it can be difficult to make the right decision because so many people are pressuring you to do the wrong thing. It is then up to you to stay courageous and to make the right decision. When we go off to college, it is crucial to have integrity. These days, it's far too easy to cheat on an assignment, to drink underage, or to blame someone else for your mistakes. I encourage you to stay courageous and to stay honest with others and yourself. Respect reminds me of the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. People who are respectful treat others politely and kindly. Respect is a funny thing. If you treat others with it, then they will likely return the favor. However, if you do not show respect, then the normal human instinct is for them to not show you respect either. For the future, we have to be even more careful with the way we treat others and to make sure that we show each and every person a certain level of respect. Make sure to respect your professors, for they hold the power of grades. Make sure to respect your new classmates and roommates, for they may be the best friend you ever had. Make sure to respect your future spouse, for they will be the best friend you ever have. And make sure to respect your children, your coworkers, your bosses, and everyone else you come in contact with, for it will make for a satisfying and worthwhile life. Excellence requires your best effort, no matter what challenge is facing you. To pursue excellence is to fully devote yourself to giving it your all, 100% of the time. It's easy to choose mediocrity and to only scrape by, but it's hard to excel. I encourage you to pursue excellence in your future. Don't settle for a B when you know you could have gotten an A. Don't be satisfied with a minimum wage job for life when you have the potential to have a promising career. And don't be discouraged when times are tough, because they will be tough. Instead, choose to excel. Push yourself to your limits. Wake up every morning ready to make a difference in the world, because then you will realize your true potential and attain a better sense of accomplishment than ever before. The NCLA has been home to us all, but as my granddad used to say, all good things must come to an end. Even though we will disperse from here and possibly never see each other until a class reunion, let's make that soon, by the way, guys. I hope the lessons learned and memories created will never leave us. If you haven't learned anything yet from school, I would hope you remember this. Live a life full of volunteer service. Always have integrity. Be respectful to everyone you meet and pursue excellence in all that you do. Thank you.
That was my fault. I was a little anxious. We're going to have a presentation of valedictorian and salutatorian. There was less than 1/100th of a difference from number 1 to number 2. Senior grades were turned in on Thursday afternoon. So last night at 10:30, we were pulling the final class ranks for everyone, and we're able to select who the valedictorian and salutatorian will be. The salutatorian is number 2. The valedictorian is number 1. There are a few famous valedictorians. I'll let you decide which one goes with which. Actor Kevin Spacey, comedian Weird Al Yankovic, actress Jodie Foster, and model Cindy Crawford. Will Zach Ellis please come forward as the 2017 NCLA salutatorian? The 2017 NCLA valedictorian is Natalie Kristoff. Yes, we're sure. Stand right here for a picture. Ms. Kwolek.
And now for the conferring of degrees, Victoria Ann Amirati. Victoria represents both the heart and compassion for others so often missing in our world. In her time at the NCLA, she has served on the cheer squad and in the elementary classroom. Through both roles, Tori displayed devotion for those in her charge. Our students are better because of her influence in their lives. Victoria, thank you. Thank you for demonstrating leadership through love. And next year we wish Victoria all the best at Leon's Beauty School, where she will be studying cosmetology. Anthony Leonardo Cespedes. Anthony emulates humility and commitment before his peers and faculty. On the basketball court, in the classroom, and as president of Student Council, Anthony demonstrates what it means to lead and serve without accolades. Not today, my friend. Today we say thank you and well done. Anthony, may your humble example continue to guide the students and faculty as you pursue a career at UNCG, where you will be studying business next fall. Jonte Amari Johnson. Jonte teaches us the value of hard work and the privilege of inspiring others. Our education derives from his commitment on the basketball court, the classroom, and the loyalty that he shows to his peers. Jonte faces each challenge as an opportunity to grow by effort. Because of his successes, he inspires us to train and work harder so we too can be successful. Jonte, I thank you for inspiring us and being a wonderful friend. Next year, we wish you all the best at Forsyth Tech Community College, where you'll be studying physical therapy. Abby Marie Warren. Abby's ineffable smile and her sense of purpose remind us that a life lived well is one lived on principle. In a culture of ever-changing values, Abby holds true to her beliefs and commitment to the dignity of others. Serving as president of the Student Council and many student initiatives, Abby reminds us people matter, and it is a joy to serve others. Abby, thank you for serving us and bringing joy into our lives. Next year, we wish Abby all the best at UNC Charlotte, where she will be studying biology.
Jordan Kathleen Bishop. Jordan has been such a joy to teach this year. I have gotten to know her in and out of the classroom, watching her score more than one hat trick on the soccer field and through all of our after-class boyfriend talks. Okay, I confess they were actually during class. At the ripe old age of 18, there are only a handful of people who possess most of the skills and dispositions needed to launch successfully out of the nest. Jordan, you are one of those exceptional people. You are level-headed and you're steady. Your planner rivals that of the most type A of professionals out there. Jordan is steadfast in setting and achieving goals, and she knows how to plan out all of the little steps to get there. She pulled together a strong senior year performance in every way, academically, athletically, and organizationally. In fact, I believe you had more early college acceptances than anyone. And all of this in spite of her heart being in California all year. Next year, we wish Jordan all the best at UNCW, where she will study international business or nursing. Jacqueline Jade Burkhart. Poor Jade, she has had to endure Ms. Dixon as a math teacher for 3 out of her 4 years. There should be an award given just for that. Seriously though, this girl has come so far. When I first met Jade, she was nervous and lacked confidence in the classroom. She would get so frustrated, and she often left my class in tears those first couple of years. But she never gave up, never got snippy with me or short or even the least bit assertive in her tone. She remained meek and submissive and above all teachable. Jade would come in for help every single day after school. She would spend hours and hours poring over her homework, asking her friends for help, and studying to get stronger. She knew pushing through the high school sequence would be a daunting task, and yet she did everything that was asked of her and never backed down. This year, Jade the senior returned to my classroom after being away from me for her junior year. She brought the same strong work ethic, the same diligence, but this year I've seen a grown-up, more confident Jade. She has learned to self-advocate and use her resources to fill in the gaps when you don't understand something. Jade, I watched you rely more and more on yourself this year. You retained all the qualities that made you unique, your warm smile, your accepting look, and your friendliness. I could not be prouder of the young woman you have grown into. As you head off to college, you are ready. Next year, we wish Jade all the best at GTCC as she prepares to transfer to a 4-year school. Nicholas Alexander Rouse. Nick came to the NCLA as a sophomore, bringing with him tons of personality. Procrastination is a way of life for Nick, his modus operandi really, and he takes great pride in churning out a formidable paper, assignment, or project at the 11th hour. Since he had me for math and 4th period study hall this year, I had the great privilege of watching him time and again plug in his earbuds, get in the zone, and turn out a semi-solid paper in less than 54 minutes. Good job, buddy. Nick's passion is entrepreneurship. He wants to blaze a trail and make a name for himself. When his curiosity is piqued and he is convinced content is relevant, Nick engages. He wants little to do with things he deems irrelevant. Nick, I know that as you continue pursuing your passion, you will become more and more engaged in learning and developing the skill set needed for success in business. Next year, we wish Nick the best at GTCC, where he will study business. Erin Elizabeth Wallace. When the Lord made Erin Wallace, I think he said, sugar and spice and everything nice. There needs to be some people in this world without a single shred of malice or ire or selfishness or aggression. Erin is the kindest, gentlest soul in our senior class. Full to overflowing with empathy, she wears her heart way out in front for all to see. She is loyal and committed to her friends, her faith, and her family. Erin has a heart for the mission field, for reaching others, and laying down her life for those less fortunate. Erin, I will miss your understanding smile and your nod that you always gave me when our eyes connected in class. Erin encourages me and everyone she meets to be better versions of ourselves. She has truly been a gift. Next year, we wish Erin all the best at Johnson University, where she will busy herself with missions and ministry.
Brenna Catherine Boozer. When you think of Brenna, one of the first things that comes to mind is her kind heart and her infectious smile. She is so kind and considerate of others and works hard to make sure she doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. As kind as she is just as fierce a competitor. Don't let her smile and her thin frame fool you. I have seen her pushing for position with girls twice her size in basketball, diving for balls on the volleyball court. She represents our school with pride. She has come a long way in the sport of basketball. I can remember her first year playing when she wasn't sure where to stand for a free throw. She is also a beloved babysitter to many kids. She plays games with them and tells them funny stories. They absolutely love her. She is so gracious and sweet with our younger children. They really look up to her. Next year, we wish Brenna Boozer all the best at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, where she will study nursing. Kaylee Ashlyn Flippin. Kaylee is our first ever president for Crosby Scholars. She had to step into this role that had never existed before without even knowing what it entailed and represent our school publicly for the first time as Crosby Scholars at Crosby Scholars events. She ran with it. She attended open houses, recruited students to take over and lead. She attended countless workshops and meetings. We have watched this quiet, gentle soul turn into a leader who leads through service and kindness. Kaylee has a huge heart. You can see it with her interactions with her siblings and the way they adore her. You can see it in the hallway, in the way that she is with her friends and faculty at school. She is loved by all. In addition to her big heart, Kaylee has ambition. She was one of the first students at the NCLA to apply for college. She was accepted to all of her choices. She has decided to pursue a career in criminology, where she will use her ambition and heart to help victims of crimes find justice. We are so proud of her accomplishments at the NCLA, and we wish Kaylee all the best at North Carolina State University, where she will study criminology. Elijah Justice Loggins. Elijah is the most laid-back and calm person you will ever meet. He does not get overly excited about much, if anything. He is sincere, honest, genuine, and a great friend to his classmates. There have been many times in which I or the counselor have been in super panic mode about forms being turned in or his graduation robes being lost, or being true to his personality. Elijah would say, "Don't worry, it'll be fine. It's probably in my car." What you see with Elijah is what you get. His genuineness is so refreshing in a world that can be so self-serving. My first year at the NCLA was Elijah's sophomore year. The first thing I recall about this senior group in particular was how Elijah had apparently made famous his various efforts and excuses to avoid certain CAP activities. He spent most of the time and energy figuring out the timelines and exactly how long he had to go before he had to take a test to rank up. This is a skill, and Elijah has mastered it. I was also privileged to witness Elijah being awarded his Eagle Scout Medal. The things his fellow scouts said about him spoke to the outstanding character of Elijah Loggins. His friends consider him a friend to the end, a person they can count on, and someone with the highest integrity. Next year, we wish Elijah well at Liberty University, where he is undecided on a major, but he is strongly leaning toward leisure studies.
Austin Lawrence Albright. Austin doesn't walk. He bounds into a room with enthusiasm and a smile. You can't help but feel energized by his presence. He's been likened to Tigger. I don't imagine anything ever gets Austin down. Well, maybe a math exam. Austin has learned a lot during his high school career. He has learned to be aware of his surroundings, especially in the bathroom. To laugh at his teachers when they miss kicking out the doorstop every single day. And that black is not an acceptable jacket color, no matter how many times he tries to get off with it. Austin has promised to come back and visit. So instead of goodbye, we say in Tigger's words, ta-ta for now. We wish him much luck at UNC Charlotte, where he intends to study mechanical engineering. Lauren Ashley Deason. Lauren is most known for her love of all things Disney. It's fitting that she will soon be moving to Florida, where she will be closer to her fairy tale heroes. She is friendly, gentle, and kind. Her smile lights up a room. Lauren is passionate about many things, especially teaching little ones. She spent the bulk of her volunteer hours working at Colfax Elementary, where she saw firsthand what it is like to manage a classroom of squirrely little kids, and was loved and appreciated by all. We wish her much luck at Florida Gulf State, where she intends to major in elementary education. Grayson Zachary Plesner Dunn. Too cool to have just 3 names like everyone else, huh, Grayson? What do you say about Grayson? There's just so much. He's such a Renaissance man. I could talk about Grayson's unique fashion sense. After all, who could pull off tie-dyed parachute pants at prom? Or I could talk about Grayson's music ability. He can hear just a few words of nearly any song and continue singing, whether you want him to or not, until the entire song is complete. Or I could talk about Grayson's amazing science skills. After all, he's the only student that I know who might just call you up and say, "Hey, do you want to come out and watch me shoot a burrito out of a potato cannon?" It's easy to get caught up in Grayson's larger-than-life personality. He has a zest for life that draws you in and makes you want to be part of his journey. But at the core, Grayson is much more than that. No matter what crazy shenanigan he's involved in, you always know that his heart is pure and his intentions are good. He is warm, thoughtful, and he is always willing to lend a hand whenever needed, never expecting anything in return. Grayson has a strength of character and a commitment to honor that is laudable. He stands up for what is right and is protective of those he cares about. And yes, he has a delightful sense of humor that is enjoyed by all. I know that he will be unstoppable of achieving whatever goals he sets out to accomplish, and I can't wait to watch as it all unfolds. We wish him much luck where he intends to enlist in the Marine Corps. Brandon Enrique Shanks. Brandon. Back-flipping, prank-pulling, noise-making Brandon. I am shocked and pleased that his pranks at school did not lead him to the emergency room. Brandon, please be careful. He brings so much joy to those around him, both humans and little turtles stuck in nasty tanks. We have come to rely on Brandon to help us on the high school hall. He never says no and throws himself completely into any task, no matter how big or small, that he is asked to do. His passion and kindness will carry him far. I can't wait to see what Brandon decides to do with his life, because I know he will be an unstoppable force. We wish him much luck at UNC Charlotte, where he intends to study electrical systems.
Hunter Hayden Bowman. Mr. Bowman, to say being your teacher and your mentor has been a great joy is quite an understatement. I've had the pleasure of watching you grow into a confident, kind, well-respected leader. To have the respect of your peers is a gift at any age, but to accomplish it so young is remarkable. You bring a calming presence to most any situation, and your willingness to step up to a challenge is a gift for those who follow you. You're not a leader of tomorrow, you're a leader of today. Next year, we wish Hunter all the best at NC State University, where he will be exploring exploratory studies. Seth David Brannon. Mr. Brannon, when thinking about what I would say today, many memories and conversations came to mind. I will never forget meeting the young man in 9th grade that was all serious, never smiled, and was rather overconfident. I remember telling your mother once that you were going to be a fabulous adult. You just needed to learn how to be a kid. I'm happy to say that you did learn how to have fun, and now you've made it to the coveted adulthood. It's been my pleasure to serve as your mentor for the past 4 years. It's my honor to now call you friend. Next year, we wish Seth all the best at Oregon State University, where he will study nuclear engineering on a Naval ROTC scholarship. Caitlin Colleen Lanier. Don't even do it. Look that way. Miss Lanier, what can I say? We've been on a wild ride these past 4 years. I'm so proud of the person you've become. The road has not been easy, but you've persevered and you finished the race. I remember one instance where this timid young lady was quite afraid to fly in an airplane. I made a deal with her, and at the end of that flight, I got to hear the words every teacher and mentor longed to hear. You were right. Of course, this was said through a giant smile. New challenges lie ahead, and I have no doubt that you'll meet each of them with integrity. From one mama hen to another, think your decisions out to their logical conclusions. Do what's right, even if you're the only one doing so. And never forget, the sky's the limit. Next year, we wish KT all the best at Guilford Tech Community College, where she'll study early childhood education. Megan Lore Lilly. Miss Lilly, there's several things that I will remember about you as you embark on your grown-up life, but what stands out most is that you are a courageous, determined young lady. Some things in life haven't been fair, but you've met those challenges with grace and strength. Your gentle spirit is a calming presence in times of turmoil, and I have no doubt that you'll accomplish anything to which you set your mind. Next year, we wish Megan all the best at Guilford Technical Community College, where she'll study forensic anthropology.
Kezia Lando He. When we were still in the planning year for NCLA, Kezia was at West Forsyth High School. She was one student in a very large school, a little fish in a great big pond. She asked me if I could add 10th grade so that she could attend the school, and I had to explain that we'd been approved by the state to only open as a K-9 school, and then add 1 grade level each year until we became a full K-12 school. I told her the only way that she could attend would be if she repeated 9th grade. It was a few weeks later when she came up and told me she was willing to repeat 9th grade, even if it meant she could go to NCLA. Deciding to repeat 9th grade when you've already passed it just to be able to come to this school was a huge decision for Kezia. I'm very proud of her for the decision that she made. I've watched her flourish and grow at the NCLA, as well as build many new and lasting friendships. I've enjoyed watching her participate in athletics, especially basketball, which she knew nothing about and had never played before. Though I'm sure there will be many ups and downs as she heads off to college. I hope that the experiences she's had at NCLA will give her the strength and courage to make wise decisions along the way. Kezia, I'm proud of you as your ex-principal, but also as your grandma. Next year, the staff at NCLA wish Kezia all the best at Forsyth Tech, where she'll be studying nursing or the military if she goes in. Madeline Nicole Heath. That first year at the Bridge was a great experience for Maddie. She'll tell you it was wonderful to be in a school where she was not bullied, but could be herself. A place where she did not have to worry about wearing the right clothes or being accepted by the elite crowd. I think her favorite memories, however, revolve around drama club with Miss Miller. She really looked forward to those opportunities to dress up and perform. Additionally, she loved going down to the Bridge Cafe. Did she order coffee? Heck no. She always ordered the Kezia Special, better known as a cup of whipped cream, which you could purchase for just $1. Though I'm sure she was also quite fondly remembers those great workouts with Mr. Lake, where he provided all the students as she created the anime club. Which she enjoyed tremendously. Maddie, I'm very proud of you as your ex-principal and also as your grandma. Next year, the staff at NCLA wish Maddie all the best at Appalachian State University, where she'll be studying forensic anthropology, or in the military, if she opts to do that.
All right, Zachary Ellis. All right, it has been a great privilege that I get blessed with the opportunity to brag about Mr. Ellis. Mr. Ellis has been my student for 4 years, and I've taught him leadership, physical education, health, and sarcasm. I could go on and on. Throughout these years, I've seen him grow into a very fine young man he's goal-oriented, trustworthy, loyal, courteous, and kind. Mr. Ellis has a unique thirst for learning, and he is observably dedicated when it comes to school, athletics, Boy Scouts, and the Civil Air Patrol. Mr. Ellis has steadily progressed throughout the years at the NCLA and has earned various awards for character, academics, and athletics. Mr. Ellis has displayed leadership skills. In fact, teachers, administrators, and even parents know to turn to him requesting help or service of some sort because he has a reputation of accomplishing the tasks assigned to him with little to no supervision, which is priceless. I know that by attending and graduating from West Point, Mr. Ellis will fulfill a lifelong dream. I'm also confident that this prestigious position, Mr. Ellis can make the NCLA and West Point more renowned than they already are. With that said, next year we wish Zach Ellis the best at West Point, where he will study engineering and in reality practically being awesome in soldiering. Brant Lohr. Brant Lohr is known for compassion, sportsmanship, fearlessness, and humor. The NCLA is unique and irreplaceable because of students like Brant Lohr, who are willing to follow the honor code and serve all those around them. And as a result, Mr. Lohr is going to win in life. Mr. Lohr was my teacher cadet during 7th period, as well as my high school wrestling captain. Mr. Lohr has helped the NCAA by showing all the middle school and high school students to be willing to be teachable, accountable, and to lead. Mr. Lohr has been a catalyst. Because of his willingness, he has directly helped middle school and high school students fall in love with fitness and wrestling. I can confidently say that as a direct result of Mr. Lohr, many middle school and high school students have become people who are willing to follow the honor code that we propagate here at the NCLA. Next year, we wish Brant Lohr all the best at Forsyth Tech, where he will study criminal justice. Kyla Smith. All right. Kyla Smith has the honor of being a founding member of the NCLA. There are numerous inside jokes about the bridge, and Miss Smith is one of the few students who gets them all. As the years have gone by, I have seen Miss Smith grow into an amazing volleyball player, and despite what she says, soccer player. She is tenacious, and that is a complete understatement. Via Facebook, I was blessed with the opportunity to see her artwork. Miss Smith has painted her entire room in the theme of Lord of the Rings, and it looks amazing. I'm kind of an art guy. It's a surprise, you know. Okay, school, in our case the NCLA, is a microcosm for life. That's a fancy way of saying that the NCLA helps teach people about life in general. Miss Smith has learned that hard work pays off and that there's more to learning than memorizing equations. And that what you do outside the classroom is just as important as what you do inside. And that the friends you make are the glue that keeps you together. Next year, we wish Miss Smith all the best at UNCW, where she will study biology and neuroscience.
First, I want to say thank you to all of the seniors for my first year being here. I just feel blessed for them having let me become a part of the family. So I have Natalie Francis Christoph. Natalie walked up to me during open house, knowing I would be her only academic teacher at the NCLA senior year. She told me her name, stated jokingly that she'd be my favorite student, calling her shot like Babe Ruth. The whimsical way that she carried herself at that moment struck a chord with me. But after having taught many great kids beforehand and being at a new school, I sat back to see what would happen. What I found was a wonderfully intelligent, dad pun-filled young woman that had an incredible amount to give to the people around her. I have seen many different sides of Natalie between study hall, earth science, physics, and of course the meme team. And after all that, she still surprises me with her exuberance to gain knowledge as she heads to Western Carolina next year to study communication science. Communication science, the NCLA family, and especially me, will greatly miss her amazing presence. Esther Koun Lee. Esther came into my class a couple weeks into the first quarter, as we figured out she still needed to take earth science to graduate in North Carolina. Her family having just moved from Georgia, she had the uphill battle of having to learn in a new environment as a senior. She took her hard work ethic and competitive nature and made a stamp on the school. Esther brings a lovely sarcasm with her, which helps add entertainment to teaching her, even on the less eventful days. While I am sad to be losing one of my favorite students, I am happy to know she is going to my alma mater, North Carolina State University, to study chemistry. Can't wait to visit her in the fall and yell "Go Wolfpack" together as our football team goes for the win over the likes of certain blue schools. Go Pack!
Alexander Thomas Folo. Some things never change. While at the NCLA, Alex was a member of the Entrepreneur Club and became an Eagle Scout. Alex, your benches in the courtyard have been and will continue to be enjoyed by many students at the NCLA. Alex, we have enjoyed your sense of humor, your ability to remain positive, and of course, your 100% attention in class every day. Next year, we wish Alex all the best at Guilford Technical Community College, where he will study business. Landon Drake Folks. You ready? Landon has been a member of the Crosby Scholars, the National Honor Society, and the Initiative Committee. Landon, I have always admired your hard work in the basketball court and in the classroom. Landon is a very quiet student that you might actually forget was in your classroom, except for that time when Landon slammed his textbook on the table in anger. I'm sorry to have to bring that up again. Next year, we wish Landon all the best at East Carolina University. Cassidy Lane Pulliam. Cassie has been a member of the National Honor Society, track team, and the soccer team. Cassie, I've always been amazed at your ability to balance your course workload without ever showing stress and being very successful in the classroom. We enjoyed your endless positive energy, your never-ending desire to participate in every classroom activity that required you to communicate and work with your classmates. Next year, we wish Cassidy all the best at UNC Wilmington, where she will study nursing. Lydia Catherine Stoops. Lydia has been a member of the National Honor Society and Student Council. Lydia, I've always enjoyed your sense of humor in the classroom. We all know that you've enjoyed every single day you have spent at the NCLA, even though it may not have been like the movies. Lydia, I hope you get this reference, but I believe today you have made your parents very proud. Next year, we wish Lydia all the best at UNC Greensboro, where she will study pre-med.
Daryl Forsyth Holmes. It has been such a joy teaching Daryl in Latin class for these 2 years. He's an excellent Latin student who always completes his work to a high standard of excellence. He participates in class, helps others when they need it, and he really knows his stuff. He is also very well liked by all of his classmates. Daryl is not only skilled, but he's reliable. I had a tough January this year, and I was sick quite a bit. As surprising as it may be, it's sometimes difficult to find a substitute teacher who also knows Latin. However, all I had to do was email lesson plans to Daryl, and he gave up his work period to teach my Latin 1 class for me. When I came back, my students bragged about how Daryl had taught them special tricks on difficult grammar points. I think he was gunning for my job, which he would do very well at. They had not missed a beat. Daryl is a quiet leader, and I get the impression that he prefers to lead by doing, by example, instead of being in the spotlight. However, he stepped out of his comfort zone to do a favor for me, and even gave up a free period to do it. Who does that? Who gives up a work period for doing more work and doing something that you're not really crazy about doing in the first place? That's kindness, it's generosity, it's thoughtfulness, and that's leadership. We wish Daryl much luck next year at Guilford Technical Community College, where he will study concert, lighting, and sound. Liston James Kidd. It's easy to love Liston. He's the kind of student who always does the right things for the right reasons. He's kind to everyone and always has a smile on his face. I often hear students commenting about what a joy Liston is to have around. His positive attitude is an inspiration to those around him. Liston, however, is not only kind, polite, and smart, but he also has crazy talent. If you've ever been blessed enough to hear him sing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I first realized this when our Latin 1 class was practicing Latin carols to sing last year. I'm no singer for sure. I struggled to try to get through some recognizable version of Deck the Halls. And then I looked at the class and said, okay, you guys try. Liston's voice was spellbinding. And besides that, his Latin pronunciation was on point. That's when I decided definitively that we would take that show on the road and go caroling around the school. As a result, I'm taking complete credit for jump-starting Liston's entire music performance career, just so you know. Liston, I expect an invitation to every performance, and a shout-out wouldn't be out of the question. You are truly an instrument of God's love. I honor you, respect you, and I love you, and I'll miss you next year when you're at UNCG studying music. Lauren Elizabeth McGee. I'm not entirely sure what Lauren thought of me the first day that we met, to be honest. It was my first day at the NCLA and things had been going well. I'd met all my students and they were receptive and cooperative. And then I met Lauren, whom I love. And she walked into my class. I called her name for attendance. And she said, yes, I'm here today, but I'm not coming back. I'm dropping this class. I immediately tried to convince her, no, Lauren, you're going to love Latin. It's going to be a great experience. You'll be so glad you got put into Latin class, even if it was by mistake. Nope, sorry, I'm not going to be in Latin class this year. This went on for a couple of days, I think, back and forth while they were adjusting schedules. And I would see her in the halls and remind her of all the benefits of taking Latin and how much she really wanted to be there. And she would say, no, Miss Reeves, I'm not taking Latin. Sorry. Then finally, I think it was probably the third, fourth day, Lauren was not in my Latin class. And I remember going home that day and feeling a little sad and thinking, I should have been able to win her over. I don't know what happened with that. I just couldn't convince her. But then the next morning, I walked into school, and in my first period class, Lauren was in my world history class. I lost her in Latin, but I gained her in world history and got to teach her for the rest of the year. She was right. She was not going to take Latin. Lauren is determined and persistent, and those are the very qualities that allow her to achieve her goals, including graduating from high school a year early. Since early last year when we met, Lauren has shown me and my whole family kindness and generosity that I will never forget. I know that she will succeed in whatever she chooses to do. We wish her all the best as she goes to Mars Hill next year, where she will study zoology. Hannah Rachel Ross. Hannah is a beautiful girl on the inside and on the outside. I call her my wise soul. I've often seen her with friends who are upset by boys or school or friends or any combination of these. And Hannah is the calming spirit. She offers sage advice without ever being rattled. She doesn't get caught up in the drama, but she stays focused, always on what is right and what is good. She's loyal and reliable, and her friends are fortunate to have her. As a student, Hannah always works hard and puts forth her best effort. She has a beautiful smile and a positive outlook that's a source of light for those around her. I'll truly miss Hannah, her calming spirit, and her shining face. She's been an absolute joy to teach, and we wish her much luck at Forsyth Technical Community College, where she will study psychology.
Graduates, Graduates, please rise. By the power vested in me by the state of North Carolina, I now pronounce you graduates of the North Carolina Leadership Academy. You may now turn your tassels.
It was a little over 5 years ago that a group of us got together with a dream and a vision to create a school. You guys have made this all possible and have made all of our dreams come true, and it's very exciting to be here today. I also remember fondly looking at all of you, that first year as little ninth graders, deer in the headlights, and telling you that you were going to be seniors for 4 years. 4 years of being the seniors, that you were going to be the role models for the school, that you had to set the bar and set the examples. You have done well. I'm very proud of all of you. So it gives me a great privilege today to be able to dismiss North Carolina Leadership Academy's first graduating class of 2017. We're going to do it with honors. It's not quite the one we used at the bridge. Class is dismissed.
Buddy! Woo, woo.